There's so many different ways to look at this game, Kurt, from obviously the standpoint of who's starting at quarterback for both teams and the running attack and the defense that the Ravens have. But I'm just going to go straight to the question everyone wants an answer to, which is, are you packing that shiny coat for the game, Kurt? Are you packing the shiny coat?
I'm going to just tell people that they got to pay attention. They got to watch. They got to watch this on Saturday, and they will see. We got 2 games these next couple of weeks, you and I in the booth.
That's true.
There's a pretty good chance that the shiny coat makes an appearance at some point, but I'm not going to reveal when.
So it's like an NBA player. It doesn't go back-to-back games, is that what you're saying right now? Like an NBA superstar? Go back-to-back?
It may. If it makes an appearance this week and it gets the love that it deserves, then maybe it comes back for the next week.
I didn't know the shiny puffy coat needed load management. Cold is cold, man. I mean, like, let's go. Like, this is it.
That is true.
Okay.
That is true. Cold is cold.
Okay. All right. By the way, as you know, I definitely appreciate you using anything to get anybody to watch this game with interest. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about being there with you. Anybody who's going to be tune in for that. Then let's just jump into this. It looks like we might get Snoop Huntley here. I mean, what are you seeing out of this Ravens offense, regardless of who's at the controls of it, Kurt?
Well, a couple things. I mean, they're still able to run the football. J.K. Dobbins coming back last week, to full force is huge for them because he's that big playmaker, and they got a couple big plays from him. So it still runs through that power run game. The difference, obviously, is that Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. He is a different beast. And so, whether you're the Ravens offense and what you can do with him back there, whether that's in the play action game or whether that's in the quarterback run game, is going to be different. And so then you have Cleveland on the other side, that when you have to prepare for Lamar Jackson, you got to prepare a little bit differently. You got to be a little more tentative if you're a Myles Garrett. Maybe not so much if Huntley is in there, and so changes the complexion of that part of it. I think they play a little bit more spread conventional pass game with Huntley in there as opposed to Lamar Jackson. And so that's another little twist that Cleveland has to be ready for. So those are a couple different changes, but it's still going to be about that power running game, and you're going to have to slow that down or stop that and then force it into the hands of Huntley, if you're Cleveland and if you want to win this game.
And then what are you seeing in the first 2 games of Watson's return after a 700-day layoff? What are you seeing on that film?
Yeah, Kurt? I mean, it's been shaky, as I think we all expected it to. I mean, I think we would have been more amazed had he come out and not shown any signs of rust. The first game was a real struggle. Didn't look like his feet were underneath him. Looked like the game was going fast. Skipping a lot of balls into his receivers. Just things that you expect when you get back out there the first time. I mean, even if you play the game, sometimes the game can speed up for you on different Sundays, and you got to work to slow that down. And it just looked like it was going real fast for him. Last week was better. He was more settled in. Still not the Deshaun Watson that we saw in Houston, and not the big playmaker. He looks like a guy that right now is more comfortable trying to get out of the pocket, and not that he hasn't always been that way, but I think it lends itself to time off. Let me just kind of run around and be an athlete because, that's someplace that I'm always comfortable. And he's still getting accustomed to what they're doing in the drop back game. And it lends itself to an interesting question that he played a lot in Houston, in shotgun. And we know that Cleveland is built off of the run game and, the power run game, extra tight ends, Nick Chubb downhill, as opposed to as much in the shotgun. And so that's an interesting dynamic to pay attention to, that we're going to be paying attention to on Saturday is, you're trying to build an offense around your quarterback, but at the same time, you've got an offense that's built around Nick Chubb and running the football, and trying to mesh those two things and balance those two things is an interesting, dynamic that Kevin Stefanski got to deal with.
Kurt Warner and I are going to be in the booth 4:30 Eastern on NFL Network, the middle game of the NFL Network triple header for week number 15. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.